The city's TSP project team has developed a plan for transportation improvements Wilsonville can make over the next 20 years. The projects will fill gaps in the existing system, make new connections between different parts of town, or make the most of existing assets.
Connectivity is something I think is really important within our transportation system. Having our schools not only connected to our neighborhoods, but neighborhoods connected to neighborhoods, and neighborhoods connected to retail and employment centers. So looking at opportunities for how we can better find those connections within our community.
We want to create a transportation system that has multiple choices in terms of the mode you get around the city and to and from the city, external trips, so that you aren't just heavily relying on your car, which will still stay as a key element of the system. But we wanted to make sure that we're providing options for bicycle, pedestrian, and then of course we have the smart transit system.
The list of transportation solutions was created out of an analysis of existing problems, a review of adopted community plans, and a forecast for how to manage future growth and development. There are many important projects on the list, but a few stand out as key for the future livability of Wilsonville.
One of the key projects you should be aware of, and it makes up several projects, but it's the Beckman Road. There's many deficiencies and gaps in that existing network from bicycles and pedestrians. We've identified both capacity, connectivity for bicycles and pedestrians, and safety improvements on Beckman Road. So that's a key roadway. When you think about the vitality of businesses and keeping congestion down, right now the majority of the traffic, east-west traffic in Wilsonville, has to travel through either the I-5 Ellingson interchange or the I-5 Wilsonville Road interchange. And by widening and making improvements to Beckman Road, it provides a new east-west connection for motor vehicles, bicycles, pedestrian, and transit routes to the west station. So the Beckman Road Improvement Project is a very important project. One of the specific projects identified along Beckman Road is a widening of the structure over I-5. The project that has been identified would widen the existing 2-lane roadway to 5 lanes and provide sidewalks on both sides and bike lanes on both sides.
Trying to complete some of those missing links so that we have more alternative routes through the city, so we're not just relying on Wilsonville Road as our primary travel link. And that will help smooth the traffic at the interchange, which we now have a brand new, beautiful interchange, and with much more capacity than we've had. But we don't want to use that capacity up just to get from one side of town to another.
One of the important points of also having a well-balanced network is limiting congestion and delays. Traffic operates very similar to water. It travels in the path of least resistance, and so one of the things of having a well-balanced network is having that quick access to destinations for residents of the city of Wilsonville.
The planned projects include improvements all over town to make it easier for everyone to get around. Some projects would enhance efficiency of freight operations for Wilsonville's important manufacturing sector. Some projects would just make it easier for kids to be able to walk to school.
I think at this point the TSP is doing an excellent job of addressing bike and pedestrian issues, and I think it's going to be a matter of, after it's adopted, of actually following through to make sure these things happen in the city.
A number of the companies that operate here in Wilsonville do in fact export outside the United States. They do international trading. So that's why it's so important we get to market effectively and efficiently as we possibly can. But at the same time, our goal is to make that process so transparent that the local resident may be aware of it but doesn't have to deal with it.
The projects would not be constructed all at once. Some are needed now, but some would be needed to support development that isn't expected to happen for at least another 10 years. How would we pay for all of these improvements? The system we see in Wilsonville today was created through a combination of several funding sources. These sources include contributions from private developers and revenue from existing urban renewal areas. If this approach continues, the city may expect to have approximately $120 million available from city sources for transportation-related capital improvement projects through the year 2035. Any grants the city receives would be in addition to this amount. Even with this healthy financial forecast, the community still couldn't construct all of the solutions that have been identified. The draft list of high priority projects identifies transportation solutions which have the highest priority for implementation and are reasonably expected to be funded between now and the year 2035. Projects were given a higher priority if they solve multiple problems or make the most of existing assets. You can review the priority projects by looking at the maps or tables on this webpage, and then please send us your comments. On the map, you'll see a code next to each project. You can use that code to reference the project description on the table. There you can find more information about the project cost, the problems it would address, and what it would include.
For those high priorities, what are the projects that are going to give you the best bang for the buck? These are the projects that are going to be important to you and are going to make driving, walking, biking, and riding transit within Wilsonville much easier. This is a draft plan. We want your feedback. We want your input. This is not our plan. This is your plan. And as you look at these projects, when we look at prioritization, we need to hear from you. If there's projects that are not a priority or are a priority to you, that you let us know that. So please provide your comments and give us your feedback on how you feel about the solutions that we've identified within your transportation network. Thank you.